Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Spotify Equal panel for LAMC. We are super excited to be here with you. My name is Mirella Schnaidman. I'm Artist and Label Partnerships Manager for Latin music. I'm originally from Brazil, but I'm based in Miami, and I'm here with two amazing, incredible women that will be presenting as well. I'll pass it over to Jen to introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. I am a senior editor on the U.S. Latin team. I am from Costa Rica, but my family's Cuban, so we have a blend of cultures, and I'm really happy to be here. And I'm going to pass it on to Shaq.
Hi, guys. My name is Xacaranda, but everybody just call me Shaq. I'm from Mexico, and I'm marketing manager of Mexico, and I'm doing some specialization on social media. So I'm so happy to be here.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. So what are we going to be talking about today? We brought to you three very important topics that we believe are going to help you understand Spotify's mission in elevating women in music, as well as give you some tools to elevate yourself as an artist using Spotify and also using your biggest ally, social media. I wanted to set up the stage here with some numbers that maybe are pretty obvious, but I think it's super important to keep top of mind, especially when we're talking about women in the industry. So when we look at creators in the music industry as a whole, only 21% of artists are women, only 12% of songwriters are women, and only 2% are producers are women. And this is why Equal is super important to Spotify and to Spotify's macro mission. So when you look at the company's mission, we know that it's centered around unblocking potential of human creativity, allowing 1 million artists to live off their work. And that is very, very connected to what we want to do with Equal at Spotify. We want to build and share tools for women in the industry. So again, they can have more and more opportunities to live off their art. And with that in mind, I want to tell you guys a little bit about what we've been doing since the launch of Equal in 2021. So the program, it's officially been 1 year since we launched Equal the Music program, and we're super, super proud that it's still going strong. Our main objective with the music side, the music program, is to give visibility for more women inside and outside of Spotify. Each market gets to choose an ambassador a month, and that artist almost carries a torch of what it means to be an Equal ambassador and also to elevate the mission of the program beyond just Spotify. We have 35 plus markets participating in the program right now, which is really amazing. And each market chooses a woman to be the cover of their local playlist on a monthly basis. And each artist also receives on-platform marketing, social media support, and the famous Times Square billboard, which really helps us spread more awareness and buzz around the artist, but also the mission of what we want to do with Equal. We know that Equal is a music program, like we mentioned, but we also really see it as a movement and a mission for Spotify as a company. It's a fight that not only a DSP, one artist, one label, one distributor is going to be able to win by themselves, right? It's a journey that we have to work on together. So after launching the program, we really want to think about what are the other things we can do as a brand to really help elevate women beyond just the one woman that we're able to support with the music program. So we have a few different initiatives that we wanted to tell you guys a little bit about. The first one is the Equal Collective. This also started last year, but essentially this collective brings together a group of nonprofit organizations from around the world that are focused on furthering gender equity in music. And you guys can see here a few of the organizations. We have Trena from Argentina, Now Girls Rue in Mexico, Girl Rock Camp in Australia, Brazil, and New Zealand. And it's really a truly global collective, which we're really cool. We think it's really cool and exciting. So we actually gave 14 of these organizations a chance to collaborate together on new ideas on how to reach more women in the industry. And out of the 2 ideas that came out of this panel, we are actually going to be able to grant them with $50,000 so that they can really truly bring the concept to life. So we're super excited about this. You can read more about the concepts and how we're going to implement this on our For the Record website. The second one is the Equal Hub. I think one of our biggest challenges as part of Equal is really how do we highlight even more women within the Spotify platform? And this is why we built the Hub, and we launched it last year. And the Hub essentially houses everything that has to do with Equal, whether it is their playlist, the local playlist, the global playlist, and even other playlists that are focused on elevating more women across multiple genres. It's really a destination and go-to place for all things Equal. Jen is going to talk with you guys a little bit more about how we also consider women for playlists across the whole Spotify ecosystem in just a little bit as well. We also launched, there you go, Created by Women, which is also a playlist, but also just an initiative that we're really, really proud of. It's a playlist that highlights songs that have been 100% rhythm produced and interpreted by women. And this International Women's Day, we actually invited 3 artists from around the world to work on Spotify singles inspired by this concept. So we have Ethel Kim from the US. She did a version of Every Time from Britney Spears, which is amazing. We have Sunmi from the world of K-pop with her version of Oh Sorry Yeah. And last but not least, we have Bruces from Mexico. She also did a punk pop style version of Wannabe, originally from the Spice Girls. And again, all 3 really incredible singles that you guys should definitely check out. And last but not least, I wanted to tell you a little bit about Equal Fest launching in Colombia this week. We are really, really excited to be able to bring the mission of Equal to live music. We wanted to really create a space for more women to be able to perform live music and also drive a positive impact on artists that were hit hard during the pandemic, especially as we saw a lot of shows, every single show were canceled, right? So we have a really incredible lineup with 13 artists participating on over 7 dates in Colombia, in Bogota. You have the artists here. We have Goyo, Lido Pimienta, Farina, El Si El Mar, and many more. And they're going to be playing live. So definitely, if you're in Bogota and you're interested, you guys can check out the tickets on Entradas Amarillas. And I encourage you guys to show up and support your fellow artists. So I'm going to pass it on to Jen to talk about the playlist side.
Yes. So first of all, I think that is incredible. Equal is amazing, and love that whole recap. So thank you, Mika. We're going to go into el mundo de playlist, y básicamente la filosofía editorial es crear la mejor experiencia de audio posible para nuestros oyentes y también ser el partner número 1 para los creadores y la industria. Ahora, we go into los tipos de playlists. We have 3 types of playlists. First one is editorial, el segundo es editorial personalizada, y el tercero son algoritmos. Editorial, these playlists are curated by Spotify editors with a keen ear for what moves listeners. So basically, we listen carefully to pitch tracks and make data-informed decisions about what will resonate most with fans around the world. So when you submit your music to the submission tool, it goes to our global team of editors who obviously review the submission for new releases on a weekly basis. And these editors basically program thousands of editorial playlists. They constantly monitor track performances to ensure that they are placed for optimal fan engagement. It's really, really important for editors when we're listening to a bunch of music for artists who are pitching their songs to do so weeks ahead so that they are going to be going to the right audience and that there's time for the editors to listen to this music. Now, for editorial personalizada, this is used to better facilitate the connection between artists and the right audience at scale. So obviously, this is why we've introduced these type of playlists. So what you might think, and this is kind of how I put it, is what you might think of when you think about canciones para perrear might be different from what I think about when I think about canciones para perrear. So by utilizing Spotify's ability to understand our users and combining machine learning with also human curation, we can work as a team to curate a much larger set of songs that are fun to, yes, perrear, and users can get the perfect playlist that they're far more likely to enjoy. So for example, if you are a pop artist and you make a song that is good for driving around, you could end up in the playlist Latin Drive, where users with a higher affinity for pop music are more likely to hear your song. And if you're a hip hop artist and you end up in one of our playlists called Mucho Rap, users with a high affinity for hip hop are more likely to hear your song. So one thing that we also want to note is that when you're programming to a personalized editorial playlist, you're not necessarily on every version of a playlist. But something that we have implemented are creating unique links that you can share via Spotify for artists. So when a listener clicks on your unique link, your track will appear first in that playlist. And this will be cached for the listener for the first 24 hours. The last one is algoritmos. So lastly, we have algorithmic playlists that are unique to every listener. So obviously Spotify works behind the scenes to automatically connect you with the most receptive listeners with playlists like Release Radar, Discover Weekly, On Repeat, and Spotify Mixes. So these are basically playlists that are customized to fit every listener's listening trends, and they are designed to place your music where listeners are most open to discovery. So going a little bit into editorial playlists and obviously more into equal, because this was for women. Obviously, we know que existen, and I'm going to go Spanglish because that's what I do. So just in case I'm going back and forth languages. Existen miles de playlists en Spotify. Y obviamente que cada decisión editorial se hace primero para nuestros oyentes, pero más allá de eso tenemos una responsabilidad de darle voz a las comunidades que están subrepresentadas. Para Spotify, las mujeres siempre están top of mind. So these are just a few of our playlists that obviously are made for women, which is like Femme or Women of Latin, Inspiring Latinas. But for International Women's Day, Las Mujeres Lideran las Portadas, which means that, obviously we're creating more spaces for women in music that starts with Equal, which is an incredible program, but it just doesn't end there. And obviously we've talked about Femme and Women of Latin, Inspiring Latinas, that yes, are playlists made for women, but this is an example of a collage of like women dominating artists that are not just made for women. They're artists where women fit in general. So like playlists como Viva Latino, Baila Reggaeton, Indie Rising, Urbano y más. They've all had portadas de mujeres y nos aseguramos de que no solo pasa en el mes de la mujer, sino dando visibilidad 365 days of the year. Going into, so also just wanted to highlight these lists too, que celebramos siempre el arte en todas sus formas con diferentes tipos de música. So, playlists como Mixto, que es nuestro primer genreless playlist para la audiencia Latinx, la Pop Wave, que celebra la nueva ola de artistas de México, o también FemCs, que apoya a todas las mujeres raperas de Latinoamérica. So it just shows that we're just celebrating all types of art and all types of music. We're celebrating women in all of these different spaces, and it's something that Spotify has and will continue to have top of mind. Now we go into the fun part. ¿Cómo puedo entrar en una playlist? And then we're going to go into Spotify for Artists. Your best friend is Spotify for Artists. So you probably already know this, but make sure you download the Spotify for Artists app. This playlist submission feature is a relatively new tool that's available to any artist or label who has access to Spotify for Artists or Spotify Analytics since launching. It's also been able to open up the ability to pitch new music to our editors and creating opportunities for artists around the world. Also, Spotify for Artists, again, I know I've repeated this, but please make sure to submit your music at least a week in advance so that editors can properly listen to the music. So for here, obviously you want to promote your new music para las playlists, minimum 10 days antes de tu launch. It's just reiterating that you can repitch upcoming unreleased playlist songs to our editors, and they'll also be pitched your song to your followers' released radar playlists. Another important thing is to describe your music. There have been a lot of words, but something from the editorial team that we always say is, we don't only want to know the story of why you made your music, but also we want to know how you made it and who you made it with. So the more information that you can provide when pitching your music and that you can provide to the editorial team, the more we can help you as an artist with getting you to the right audience. So information like share like the genre, your subgenre, what instruments are on the track, who did you produce the song with, like what kind of mood were you in, what location associated with like the music you were making. All this information is really important for the editorial team to know in order to place it to the right audience and in order for your music growth. So this is just a small example. This is Kern Bauer. She is a badass. And this is just an example of how Kern Bauer used the tools to gain support and growth strength through the ecosystem. So she envió la nueva música. She submitted the new song at least 7 days before the release date. Here she submitted it more than 2 weeks before. She published the song on Spotify, and what happened then is that if it's selected, it was included en una playlist editorial y algorítmica y que comenzará dentro de 7 a 10 días. Then there is the promotion. So you promote your music into your social media. Puedes usar las herramientas again de Spotify for Artists como Canvas or promo cards. And then crecimiento de la música en función del alcance orgánico y la cobertura editorial. So obviously continuing to use the information Spotify for Artists to monitor the advancement of the song. And then also this just concluded that, she would reach new listeners, new fans, and it also shows how the artist, eventually there's the follow button, how you used it, which all happens on the Spotify for Artists that can help you. And the last thing is, obviously, we want to remember and just let you know that no puedes pagar para que tu música se incluya en una playlist. If somebody is offering to do that, that is a lie, that is a scam. We don't do that. Es una estafa. And this is an illegitimate process that honestly could result in your music being removed from Spotify. So it's just important for you and your career. Just don't take the risk. That's not a thing. And I think that is it. So I'm going to pass it on to Shak to talk all things redes.
Perfecto. Thank you, Jen. So, the power of social media, el poder de las redes sociales. ¿Por qué son importantes? Porque en promedio las personas están utilizando social media más de 3 horas al día. 6 de cada 10 personas en el planeta pertenece a una red social y hoy en día, más que ser un medio para comunicarnos, son un medio para crear conexiones, para crear comunidad, para que también nosotras, ustedes, puedan empezar a construir redes más grandes. Y es algo que nos gusta mucho porque podemos a través de ahí compartir quién soy, lo que hago, mi proceso, mi creación, mi inspiración, lo que me mueve, mi lado humano, pero también puedo compartir la plataforma, puedo compartir yo mi canal como artista, puedo compartir lyrics, singles, mis álbums, mis DCs, y puedo crear estos call to action que empiecen a generar que más personas vayan a la plataforma a seguirme a mí como artista. Entonces, yo tengo muchas herramientas dentro de la plataforma y dentro de social media para empezar a hacer push y empezar a construir comunidades. Y esas comunidades, algo que nos gusta mucho y que viene de este empoderamiento igual, es que genera una inspiración. Y genera una inspiración no nada más para fans, sino para también futuras creadoras. Y ese es un poder y una responsabilidad que tenemos como este legado artístico del cual ya estamos construyendo. Y dentro de este legado artístico que ya estamos construyendo, el poder de las redes sociales es pensar en 3 máximas. La primera, el poder generar contenido, aprovechando las herramientas y los formatos, no solamente las de la plataforma, sino que también las que social media ya me da. La segunda, frecuencia, making a rhythm. Marcar estos momentos, estas rutinas, seasonalities, where is the people, when is the people talking. Y la tercera, crear amplificación, un voz, un ruido, fans, aliados y siempre, siempre, siempre un walk the talk. Nosotras estamos aquí y debemos agradecerle a muchas otras mujeres que nos inspiraron y nos abrieron camino, y nosotras podemos hacer lo mismo para las demás que ya ahí vienen. Entonces, la primera, crear contenido. Utiliza las herramientas, comparte los distintos formatos. Aprovechemos lo que social media ya nos da por sí solo para empujar hacia nuestros canales de artistas. Podemos llevar con link a la plataforma, hacer tagging constante, hacer un sharing from platform desde nuestro Spotify Artist, desde nuestro perfil de artista, y empezar a jugar mucho con stories, con reels, con feed. Hoy en día, una máxima de las plataformas en redes sociales es que estemos utilizando mucho los formatos nativos que ya te dan para que empieces a generar más comunidad, pero también más ritmo. Y ejemplo, en Twitter siempre tener call to actions, siempre poder sumarnos a estas tendencias, estos mensajes y compartir el link. Acá les dejé un ejemplo de cuando nosotros compartimos un link, más allá de solamente aventar el link, un escucha en Spotify, el tener, poder utilizarlo con una foto o un video detrás, podemos nosotros empezar a generar estos contenidos que visualmente sean lindos, pero que también tengan un propósito detrás. Then, the frequency, making the rhythm, repetición y momentos de consumo. Tener un tráfico constante de nuestras redes hacia la plataforma a través de contenido que sea de valor. Podemos nosotros compartir un thesis en un momento de consumo clave, o si tenemos una canción para el fin de semana, to dance on the weekend, we can make this recommendation to our audience so they can just play it on the right moment. Aprovechar este momento, mantenernos al pendiente de las tendencias, las celebraciones, inclusive estos momentos de consumo, un holiday, un seasonality, best hours for, y poder empezar a hablar acerca de nuestra música dentro de la plataforma en un momento clave para la audiencia. Y por último, y la más importante, sharing is caring. Sharing the work and sharing other women. No es lo mismo 100 followers que 10,000 followers. Y acá es donde podemos nosotros empezar a crear una tribu, empezar a crear una comunidad más grande y empezar a compartir también nosotras a otras creadoras en desarrollo. Utilizar nuestra voz para empujar otra voz. Acá podemos utilizar herramientas desde hacer lives compartidos, hablando de mesas de trabajo, mesas de discusión, simplemente recomendando a algún artista que nosotros también ya estemos escuchando y estemos consumiendo. ¿Por qué es importante? Por el share of voice. Nuestro círculo cercano ya se siente más empatizado con lo que nosotros les recomendemos que con algo que puedan encontrar afuera. Entonces, ¿qué pasa si utilizamos nuestra voz para compartir a alguien más? Podemos empezar a generar este impacto y esta comunidad, no nada más para nosotras, sino para alguien allá afuera que quiera y que nosotros veamos dentro de este círculo que estamos construyendo. Y acá podemos utilizar desde los lives para el diálogo, share cards, share the song of anybody else, the album, the playlist, etiquetar a una creadora y mucho call to action. Quiénes son, qué nos gusta y compartirlas. Ejemplo, ¿qué tal si todos hacemos un domingo de compartir a una nueva artista igual, a una nueva artista que el mundo todavía no conozca o que nosotros hemos descubierto y estamos orgullosos de ella? Entonces, ¿qué pasaría si todos aquí podemos hacerlo un día a la semana y empezar a crear un movimiento, en redes sociales que empiece a ser voz por ahí más? Y nuestras recomendaciones: create, lead, inspire, elevate, and share. Y ver esto como un círculo virtuoso, como un golden circle, que siempre estemos nosotros creando, pero sobre todo compartiendo y en ese proceso inspirando a las demás.
Hermoso.
Yay.
Yay, Shaq.
Gracias a las dos. Y para cerrar, if there's 4 things you guys take from this presentation. The first one, tu música. We need more women creators in the industry.
Yes.
So if you're an artist, a songwriter, producer, designer, we want to see your work. So authenticity, passion, and hard work really shines through. Spotify for Artists is your best friend. I hate to be corny, but it is your best friend. So use it as a tool to help you achieve some of your goals, especially to give your music more visibility through the playlist submission tool. Tu marca, like Shaq beautifully put, social media really helps you build your brand. So use it, share it, lead it. And last but not least, community. It's using social media, you can really elevate and inspire other people. And you can use your influence to build a tribe and elevate other artists, other creators that you love. So we want to leave you guys with a challenge. We have a link for you guys to download your cards here. You can download it and share it on your socials and talk about the artists you love, the artists that you're checking out right now, and really help other people reach other artists, reach new audiences. So we are putting this challenge to you guys so that you can help us move the needle for women in the music industry, because we know we can't do it alone. Join us, and thank you guys so much.